what is your favorite date spot?
Ooh.
Wait, when was the last time that Matt actually took you on a date? That's the real question.
We do try and date. When you're in a marriage and you're with somebody, we've been together for 21 years.
I know.
So if you don't...
So you're finding success somehow.
If
Dates.
you don't keep the romance alive, you're screwed.
Yes.
Right? Because trust me, there are days when you're exhausted and the kids are screaming and you're like, wait a second, what the heck is going on? You need to keep the romance alive for certain. I will say that we don't date as much as we probably should, but when we do, it's usually very special.
So they're magical. So what are your magical moments in dating?
We, as I said, being in a relationship for as long as we have to keep the romance alive. We have to find time to take away from the chaos of our lives. And we run at full velocity for 24 hours a day, maybe 25 hours a day even. One of my favorite spots, and I'm going to bring this up specifically because this was the first place that we went post-pandemic, right? We decided, I think it was my birthday, if I'm going to remember correctly, we went down to Gene and Georgetti's. I have had a love affair with Gene and Georgetti's for most of my existence in Chicago.
Yeah.
My first apartment was literally a half a block away. So I would meander down there. I would sit at the bar because I didn't really know anyone. I would eat. I think the ambiance in there is like you're walking into a different era. The fact that they have all those different rooms, everything has a different vibe, whether you wanted to be big and group or small and intimate. When we went post-pandemic, we actually sat outside because that was our comfort level. And just sitting there on the urban street with the train moving by, it was one of those
Nothing screams romance like the L just whizzing past over your head.
No, it was one of those things that it was just that sense of urban after a time period that we hadn't had it. Yeah. That was something that felt fantastic. The food is, in my opinion, definitely one of the best steakhouses in Chicago. I have never had a bad meal there. Everything is always fantastic. The staff is great. I mean, it's just, and on top of it, the family that owns it are phenomenal people. So we can support a local restaurant that are run by a phenomenal family with great food. And then literally no matter what I know we're talking about date spots and that for me, but I've had so many different events there that are always fantastic. So that's one of my favorite.
I mean, it's like classic Chicago.
It's classic Chicago,
Isn't
right?
it one of the oldest steakhouses in the city?
I think it's got to be close to one of them, if not. I mean, it's definitely up there. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been around for a long time too. And as I said, my first apartment in the city, which I also paid $720 for in that location. I'm dating myself now. I think that might have included parking too.
Cause my first apartment in River North was $800. Yeah.
So, granted, mine was 350 square feet.
So that was mine too.
I couldn't invite anybody over because it was just a bed, and I felt embarrassed. What would you do? Invite somebody over and be like, "Hey, do you want to come hang out on my bed?" It seemed very forward.
Yeah. Well, I was actually just telling somebody about this story the other day. Was when it was my birthday. It was my birthday weekend and Gay Pride weekend, and I lived in that 300 square foot studio, and I literally was so tired by the end of the weekend. I put a pot of noodles on the thing, and I fell asleep in the bed. Well, it started billowing smoke everywhere. And so my neighbor called the fire department. And this is a 300 square foot studio. I'm butt ass naked in my bed, and these firefighters come barreling into my apartment.
You're like, am I dreaming?
I was dreaming. I was, but it was actually reality.
I had no naked firefighter story when I lived there.
Pure chaos right here. You get great stories.
So, Samuel, you are out on dates.
I am, yeah. So I actually like a ton of different things. I think it just depends on what I want to kind of do. I love activities. Sure. So going to a bowling alley, doing spin, which is the ping pong bar downtown.
Oh, I thought you meant you older spin on the bicycle, and I was like, I don't know if I want somebody seeing me huffing and puffing quite yet. No. Definitely not on a first date.
No, Susan Sarandon's restaurant. Oh. It's a ping pong place. It's awesome. It's on state.
So I could show somebody how uncoordinated I am at ping pong on a first date.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if
they have a bar there, so you get a cocktail.
Oh, good, because a cocktail would definitely help my coordination.
Yeah.
Okay, so ping pong?
I really love rooftops. I think they're just sexy and pretty, and obviously they all have really good views. Yeah. So I just like going there. So LH, which is London House, that's awesome, right over the river.
Yeah.
Cindy's roof deck is amazing as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I agree with
different,
you
like,
on the activity though, because I think that's fun. There's Park and Field over in Logan Square.
Yeah,
that's
always
super
fun.
cool because right, you've got the bonfires, which is fun. You can play bocce. They've got a good bar with a good beer list. I mean, that's a kind of a casual. You know, but still things to do, right? If the date
And
isn't
Surge
going
is
well.
right across the street from there, which is the pool house. Like, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Activity.
love an activity. The one that I need to do is Royal Palms. I think that's still on my
Where's
to-do
that?
list. It's in Logan Square. It's like a shuffleboard bar.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it
yeah,
has
yeah.
the
I didn't know
roof
the name.
deck.
Yep.
Has the roof deck. That's supposed to be really cool, and I have not been there yet. So,
I get you.
So if you want to date me, take me.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Samuel would be like to be taken on a date at Royal Palms. DM me for more information. Maybe we can like auction off a date with you or something.
Yeah.
Raise awareness for a charity.
Yeah.
I think I'm onto something here.
Okay.